let's say I want to schedule this article to be published at the 1st of July, and these two articles, let's say I want them to be live, and this one I will just keep as a draft. Now let's run this scenario, and here, so one article has been scheduled and two articles were created. If I refresh, here are our two live articles, and you can see two are published, one is scheduled. If I take a look at this, you can see we've got our styling, everything that was here inside our Notion article. Right now, let's say I want to change this one from scheduled to live. Well, let's just move it and let's make it live right now. I will launch the integration. And if I take a look here, this has been changed to published. Now if I go to my blog, it's right here. Let's say I don't like this anymore, I'll just move it to the deleted, run the integration, and it has been deleted. Take a look here, our paw pads are gone. Cool. Now to show you what you can do with the formatting, here I have an article that has some callouts blocks and some colors inside. Well, let's just run this and let's open the URL, and here you can see that we can use our callouts just as in Notion. We have our toggle, and yep, so that's it for the intro. First of all, we'll create our Notion database where all of the posts will be stored. So here we have ghost blog posts. Let's make this a board database, and here I will make 3 statuses. How do you pronounce that? Draft. Actually, let's make this one deleted because it's red. This one will be draft, and this one will be live. Let's make a sample article. Let's add in a cover. And this property, we don't need that. Here we can add some sample content. Here is some text. And some quick styling, just to see all of the capabilities. Here I will just change the layout so that we see the thumbnail cover. Nice, that's done. Now let's move to a new scenario. First of all, we need to fetch the Notion items. So you need to set up your connection. Here we will fetch by updated time, because we want to be able to edit articles. Let's get our database, and well, I forgot one thing, and I forgot that we need to share this database with our integration. If you don't know how to create an integration, you need to go to notion.so/myintegrations. Here you can create one and connect it to make. Now that we've shared this, I need to find it. Ghost blog post, that's it, and let's limit to 10. Let's see if we have our sample article, and here if I go to name, there's the sample article. Nice. Now we need to get the content. To do that, we need the HTTP module, because we will get that through a custom API that I've made. The link is https://html.herokuapp.com/the database item ID. To authenticate our integration, we'll set the body type to application, and for the fields we'll input a token, and for the value we'll put in the internal integration token of our integration. Just like that. Now let's test it. I will copy my database item ID and run this module, paste it here. Let's see what happens. Perfect. Here's our HTML. And so now we need to connect this to Ghost. Create a post. Now to make a connection inside Ghost, you need to go to settings, and here is integrations right here, and here's custom integrations, and you can get all of the data you need to make the make.com connection. So let's fill in the fields. Title, well, that will be from the name, plain text. Status will be published. Type of content is HTML, and the HTML data feature image, that's the cover external URL, and let's hit OK. Well, let's run this. Now with this didn't fetch any items because we haven't made any updates. So let's just choose where to start, and we'll select all. So that should get our article. And it looks we've got something. Let's take a look at the URL. And here's our article. Here's the image. Boxed water is even better. Hell yeah. And here's our styling. Now if I go to the main page, you can see that we have an article preview here. Well, we have some problems with the formatting here, because you can see that this is supposed to be red, this is supposed to be underlined, and all that we have is the italics. All that we need to go is head on here to HTML. Now the problem is that Ghost is getting rid of elements that he doesn't like, and so you just need this magic phrase to tell him that is okay. So I will just paste this here. You can find this code in the description. So to the beginning you need to put in the kg card begin, and to the end you need to put the kg card end HTML. Hit OK, and let's run this. Now let's take a look at the content, and nice, here's our stuff. So now that the content is fine, we can set up more modules so that we are able to edit the articles and delete them. So here I will add a router, and I will add 2 more paths. Now, in order to edit an article, we will need to assign a Ghost article ID to this, to the Notion item. So I will just add a text field here, and right here let's update the database item, and let's search for our Ghost blog post db whatever, and we just need to set the Ghost article ID to be the post ID. Okay. And the database item ID, well, that's the same as we have fetched in the start. I want to add one more thing, and that is the URL of the article. So I'll set that to be of type URL. Let's put in the URL, which is right here. Alright, now we want to choose this path only if the status name is equal to live, right? We don't want drafts to be there. So now let's test this. If I move it to the live and I run this, you can see that it got created, and if I click on our article, here is our URL, and here is our Ghost article ID. Now we can know which article have been already published and which not, because if there is no article ID, that means it wasn't published yet. So here I will just add, to prevent duplicate articles, I will add a new rule, and that is if the Ghost, oh my gosh, choose where to start, all, run. I'm doing this in order to see the Ghost item ID, this plain text. So this field right here exists only if it's been already posted. So if it does not exist, we want to create. Nice. Now if the ghost article ID plain text does exist, that means that we want to edit this article. And we want to edit this article only if the status name is equal to live. Because if it is equal to deleted, we don't want to edit the article, right? So I'll just hit OK, and let's set up the edit path. So I will update a post module, and let's fill in the stuff. The post ID, that's the ghost article ID, plain text, title, it's here, status, published, HTML, feature image, that's the external URL. Okay, now we'll just copy the contents of this. That's paste, and let's try it out. Sample content 1, 2, 3, 4. Amazing edit. Is it run? Beautiful. Now if we take a look at the article, can close the old ones. Here is our content 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the last route that we're missing is the delete path. So I'll just add delete post, and the post ID is the ghost article ID plain text. To set up the filter, let's name this delete, and well, we need the status name to be equal to deleted. Is it deleted? Deleted, yes. Let's hit OK, and let's try it out. So right now I will move this to the deleted column. Let's hit run, and bam, it got deleted. So if I refresh this, it is not there. Now I have two other articles that I don't need. Let's just delete them. Yes. Okay, so we're pretty much done, but we can improve this. In order to improve this, we can add scheduling functionality. So here I will just make this a little smaller so that we have more place, and I will add the column name schedule. Scheduled. Sounds better. Let's make this, I don't know, green, no, blue, cool. Let's move it here. Now in order to schedule an article, we need to have a property that will determine when to publish this. So let's set this to date, and let's make it 20th June, and we need to set up another path. So going back to our integration, we'll add another path that will be called schedule. And so this will happen only if the status name is equal to scheduled. Nice. Now I will just copy this module right here. Whoop, let's put it here. Let's delete this. And here we just need to change the status to be scheduled, and the published ad will be in the published ad field, which is not here yet. I'll just put in something random, and let's fetch the new fields. Publish ad is here, perfect. So let's add in publish ad. Publish ad start. Nice. And we need to clone this update module as well in order to get the ghost article ID, That's the post ID, and the article URL, that's the URL. Awesome. Let's align everything. And let's try to schedule an article. I've set this to the 20th of June. You can see that I have no posts here. So let's hit run. And well, we need to update the article. Scheduled. Let's hit run again. Looks like it's working. If I refresh the posts, it has been scheduled. Let's say if I want to make this live right now, let's try to think what will happen. Well, because the ghost item ID already exists and the property status name is equal to live, that means it will go here and the status will change to published. So let's run this. Let's see if we're right. And yep, if I refresh, our article is published. So that's nice. Let's see what else we can add to improve our awesome integration. We can add some tags, and also we could add some advanced styling. Well, for the tags, that's pretty simple. We just need to add another field, another property that we called tags. It will be a multi-select field, and let's add some tags. So business, Netflix, chill, you know, the ordinary tags. And now let's see what happens. In what form do we get it? So the tags is now an array, and in this array there are 3 collections, and in each collection we have ID, name and color. Alright, well, here in the ghost article we need to have just a normal array. Now to convert this weird form, this array of collections, we can use a function that is inside make.com. We'll search for the tools module, yes, and let's set variable just to show you what's going on. And here we'll use the function map. So this function map allows us to convert a complex array to a simple one. So our array, that's the tags, and well, the key, that's what we want to get, is the name. You don't care about the ID, you don't care about the color, so let's just get the name, hit OK, and I'll just unlink the rest. And let's get all items. Let's run this, and right here you can see that in our array now we have 3 items. That's just what we need. So I will just copy this function, delete this module, connect this, and I'll just paste this in each of the tags, in each tags field. Let's align. Now our article has been edited, and so we can take a look, and here's our tag in business. If I refresh, you can see that the business tag has been assigned, and it's showing just the first tag. I think, yes, it's a business, but well, if I put in the Netflix tag, it's here for the Netflix tag as well. If I put in chill, oh, chill is with 2L, right? Yes. So this article has 3 tags, and that's awesome. Now, in order to add some advanced styling, for example, Notion callout blocks, let me just drag in the top 10 reasons why you can get a girlfriend, because that's an excellent example. You can see that here we have some callout blocks just to test things out. And let's try to get this article. We'll hit the integration. Here, let me just show the URL so I don't have to click every time. So right now you can see that the callouts don't look right. Well, that's because we need to add some styling in order to make this work. Now I've included in my article of how to make a Notion to Webflow blog, I've made some styling that will configure the callouts to look right. You can just copy the code. I will include it in the description, but we need to add this to the article. Now, so let's set a new variable. The variable will be named custom code, and here inside we'll have the contents. Let's hit OK. And we need to put this custom code, we need to put this in front of the data we put in from the API. So I just put in the custom code in every HTML field, and even in this one. And right here we're just missing one thing, because we need to include the HTML style tag, and in the end as well. Okay, so we have our style tags. Inside is our callout style. Let's hit OK, and let's see what will happen. Now to update this, just make something like that. Yep. Now let's hit run. Well, let's see if that works. So right now, if I refresh, you can see that this callout block looks awesome, right? So like this, you can add in any styles you want. If you know CSS, you can add in how the links look or the lists. Sky is the limit, really. So that's the callout block. So now let's just add in some more articles and let's see how it looks. For example, if carrots are orange because of the Dutch Revolutionary, well, let's schedule that one, for example, to the 1st of July. Let's add in tags, food. Here's our text. And let's delete this one, because we don't need that anymore. Let's take a look at our posts. We have our sample article and the top 10 reasons why you can't get a girlfriend. Let's hit the scenario and let's see if everything works. So one post has been deleted and one post has been scheduled. Let's take a look. And that looks awesome. Let's refresh. And so that's great. If I open, that works. If I want to edit the carrot article, let's just move it to the live column. Let's add in a callout saying, man, I love carrots. You can maybe even add something inside. Carrots are orange, carrots are healthy. You can even add in some more inline styles and a blank space. Well, let's close and let's see. It was edited. If I go to the main page, the carrots are here. Our callout is here. and looks great. There is a little bug, and that's if you upload your own thumbnail, let's say the nebula, that won't work, because we are fetching in each of the feature image, we're fetching only external URL. So if you want to use your custom thumbnail, here, if I fetch this, you can now see that the cover is not under external URL, but cover file URL. So you would need to add an if-else statement that's saying, if the cover external URL exists, I want it to be the file external URL, and if it does not exist, I want to use the file URL. So this way, if it's an external link, it will use the external link. If it's not, it will use the file URL. And well, you will need to use this across all your feature image fields. Like this. Let's hit run. Okay. We need to make an edit. Let's hit run. Yep. If I take a look at the main page, you can see that here is our beautiful nebula. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for listening. Please tell me if you like the format. This is like third tutorial that I'm creating, so I'm not sure how to do this. So I'll be really glad for any feedback or encouragement. Thank you guys again, and see you on the next one.